What's going on? Hope y'all can hear me. Hope the music is good. Hope you're having a good day. If you're here, glad to see you. Get my bucket positioned under the camera here. Alright. Get this guy on the shot a little better. As you can see, I haven't touched my palette once. Just the way it was when I left it. I had to go to the art store today. I realized I had no yellow gouache left. And, man, art supplies are expensive. I can't manage to leave an art store without spending $100. Or just under, I swear to God. Seems like everyone's seeing my Facebook post this time. Last time I did a Facebook post, I put the direct links to YouTube and Twitch. Literally no one even saw it. Or liked it or anything. And it's weird. They just don't even put it out to anybody. If you add a link. I've experimented with it enough to know. Especially on a business page. It's weird. Hope you're having a good day. Like I said, is anyone hopping in? Happy Sunday. Thanks for streaming. What's up, Steph? My pleasure. I love when life allows me to stream. And paint in general. I'll admit it's been quite the struggle lately, trying to stay motivated about doing this every day. The bills are impending. Living on the edge to stay painting. Seems I didn't clean my brush well last time. Been doing a lot more research on like art tent shows and stuff and things like that. I gotta kind of gather what I have and see what I can fill my tent with. I've sold a lot the last season. A lot of the prints I had, a lot of the canvases I had, so gotta see what I have to hang up in my tent. Hopefully that can help some sales, keep the business going. Can't tell you about how many times I've come this close to going and applying somewhere just to get the ease out, like just to ease the brain, you know. And the more I sit there and then I go to press the application button, the more it fucks me up. The more I realize it just doesn't feel right. So it was funny, I was at the art store today and I was like, you know what? I was like, well, if I have to go get a paycheck job to stay afloat, I was like, why not work at an art store, right? Even though you won't be doing art, you'll be stocking and doing sales and keeping up with customers and whatnot, but I figured at least I'm surrounded by it, you know? So I asked them if they had any positions open, and they said to come back when the manager was there, so I guess I'll think of a reason to go back sometime this week. It's a little bit far of a drive, but like I said, you know, like, I think it'll be less soul-sucking than, just doing something random that has nothing to do with what I love, just to try to align it as much as possible. However, I still feel like I can do better. I always feel like I can do better with promoting myself or going to find the next art show or just being more diligent about finding more work or getting out there. I don't know. When I push really hard, things happen. And sales happen and paintings get completed. However, you know, it doesn't add up to the thousands of dollars a month you need these days. It was awesome when we were doing that last session with the digital drawings and we were getting a painting out a day and getting some website sales, and it was awesome. Do not get me wrong. And I'm grateful. However, you know, that rent comes in, those utilities come in. And I still haven't been able to make it add up to a point where I'm not forced to either go out and delivery drive or consider applying somewhere. Like I said, damn, I always get so close to it and then I talk myself out of it. Talk myself up into more hope and then I find myself streaming because it makes me feel better about my life. Even though no one really watches, it still makes me feel better. It makes me feel like I'm working towards something I love, and then it feels more worth it. And then I have thoughts like, well, you know, anyone could die any day, right? It's like, might as well get, like, tomorrow is never guaranteed. So I gotta get as many paintings out as possible. It's a mental loop. It's not necessarily a healthy one. And the internet brings all these artists together in one place that are successful, and it seems like everyone's doing it somehow. Just gotta figure out how to keep my chin up about it and keep finding new avenues and new ways to get out there, I guess. So I guess I'll try to start going to more art shows and I don't know. Try some more down-to-earth paintings, maybe that are more sellable to a larger audience. I know I already had that spiel before. Art place can be a good place to make connection, and yes, you have to work and you have to do it in a place that, like, where you can at least talk about what you love and get a discount. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and every time I've done an art tent, it's been a positive experience. So I guess I wanted to, like, build up an inventory again. I kind of feel like I've outgrown my older pieces that I had a lot of prints of, and I'm ready to show more. And, you know, beyond the few successful sales or getting a commission or just loving it and it keeping me sane and being something I love to do, you know, the kind words of inspiration from everybody help too. Believe it or not, it goes a long way. It's not just about buying artwork, because ultimately artwork isn't like a useful thing. It's only good for people where, you know, like, they see something in a particular piece. It's not like a toilet or like plumbing or, you know, fixing a pipe in your walls, or it's purely visual. It's purely a emotional connection that, you know, a buyer has to see or feel something. So it also doesn't get me far, at least, to just do as many paintings as I possibly can. paint whatever I want. It's kind of like a risk, you know, because every painting, you know, I've already put way more hours into this one than I expected. You know, I may never sell. I may have this till the day I die. It may sit in my portfolio, or you know, or just on my website, or as a post on Facebook. And it's simply because it's always a shot in the dark. If I'm just painting what I want, if it's going to entice someone enough. So you know, that's why I always consider like maybe I should just do more recognizable things for a little while, or maybe just mix them in there. Other than that, it just keeps my sanity, man. That's what I love to do. I can't go one day without constantly thinking about what I'm gonna do next. I'll lose sleep over my like next painting sometimes. How to get to the next step, or just at least survive, you know? Like I'm not even trying to be rich. Like I would completely take surviving off of it. But that doesn't come without consistency or staying at it, so at least I gotta do that. Yeah. Comes with a lot of research, and I'm in that process right now, finding out the prices, which ones are free, which ones are not. Ultimately, you end up spending $20 to $100 to have your slot, and you end up selling nothing or a couple. So the ones I've done, I've managed to sell a couple $100 of art. But the ones I've done, you know, they're seasonal and probably they're more annual, once a year. So I think I gotta find the ones that I gotta find one in every season that I'm doing like 2 of them a month or something. If I can find enough of them that exist, or I'm doing 2 a month, then that'll probably help. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like I'm just fucking starting, I'm gonna be honest with you. Even though I know that's an insane thought, I've obviously been trying at it for a while. Wish I had the money to like pay someone to market me for me. Just not good at that side of it. I always feel annoying. I always feel like I'm shoving myself in people's faces. I mean, look at me, you know? And I know in one light you have to do that to get out there, but another light, I want to find a way to like connect more. I know I haven't uploaded a lot of reels lately, but it's because I feel like I'm not uploading with substance unless I have a more complete video. I feel like I'm just uploading to upload once a day when I just do like, you know, little increment progress videos of the painting I'm currently on. It's like, oh, here's 3 more brush strokes that you haven't seen last video. I mean, hell, and if that's entertaining, you know, and I get enough feedback, then hell, I mean, maybe it's worth it. Maybe it's less about, you know, having a good piece of content these days, and it's more about just like staying in people's faces to remind them that I exist. Because that's one thing it's easy to do, is fall off the map. Suddenly you just don't exist to people. Because everyone's on social media these days. It's almost like we rely on it to know about each other's existence now. But yeah, I don't know. Any good art marketers in the crowd? I'm seeking guidance. But I guess I'll start with the art tents and do my best to keep painting every day. Or at least thinking about it. Just in Sketchpad or something. It's up and down, you know? Most of the time I feel inspired, like I can do whatever I want. And sometimes I just feel like I have no idea what to do, and I feel kind of stagnant. I don't feel stagnant at all when it comes to improving. Like, that's something I love and I enjoy every day, is improving at it. But I feel stagnant in the sense of, like, it's that it's growing. And, you know, it's like, wake up, it's like, stream for 8 hours, make nothing towards rent for this month, or, you know, go out in the world and work and ensure my income with something that I don't really like doing, and not paint as much. It's such a back and forth battle, let me tell you. I just gotta go out into the community more. Like I said, that's my next current, or I should say my current idea. Like, out in real life more, not just so much on social media, and which I have done. Like I said, it's not like I just thought of this yesterday. I guess I'm just gonna try to increase the amount that I do it. Try to make more connections. I used to do art shows much earlier, and even if I didn't sell a ton there, I always met someone that somehow led to a sale. But yeah, marketing sales part is mostly what I couldn't overcome or figure out. Yeah, exactly. It always is worth it for that. You're so talented, there has to be a way for you to get seen. Well, here I am trying right now, but I can't seem to get more than you and Kate and my girlfriend in here. But it's probably not that fun to watch, you know? Pretty slow paced, it's relaxing music. Everyone wants like overstimulating, attention grabbing content these days. Just fast cut movie clips of me painting. Never lasting more than 3 seconds. I just don't have any, I don't have enough collectors of my stuff. Another thing I gotta do. Find more collectors. But we'll see what happens. Can't say I'll ever put it down. Kind of impossible to. It's too much of a part of me. Hey Rainbow, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. This is awesome to watch your art progress. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm glad it's entertaining and it's something worth spending your time doing. Honestly, that's the biggest form of payment for me right now, is to just hear that this is something people actually like to watch. Because in one way I'm trying to expose myself, and in another way I'm just trying to paint, you know? Stay sane, stay with my art. But yeah, pretty desperate times, just financially, not like mentally. I overall feel very mentally stable and grounded, and I'm not like depressed or anything. I I struggle sometimes. Because putting hours and hours into this for sure gets me better. I just can't imagine, just like, I can't see myself in some fucking bullshit 9 to 5, like, working for some insurance company or fucking just something that I just can't. I'd rather be with a cardboard sign on the fucking end of a highway exit than do that stuff, man. That's what led me to, like, maybe I should work at an art store. Anyway, not to have such a depressing note, I just like to be real with y'all, you know? I just like to tell you what I'm thinking, because I sit here and I talk for 9 hours when I sit on the stream, and, you know, of course a lot of it is what I'm doing, how I'm painting, but then, you know, I want to, like, also show you how real I am. I'm a real human on the other end. And sometimes it's almost like talking in the stream is like a little bit of a diary. It's like a journal entry. Or like video journal entries sometimes, I swear. And like I said, it helps make me feel better. Kind of just jumping around randomly on this painting right now because I don't really have a particular focus, but anyway, I went to the art store today too because I realized I didn't I was running out of gouache, like I said, and it's funny because even though this has turned out to be my favorite medium, I have the least of it, I realize. And it's expensive as all hell, man. Luckily I have like a rewards card there, so like I can pay for even less for them, but God, by God. Like I realized I was doing it like to do a painting larger than this, because I used a lot of gouache on this painting already. Like, it's literally, like, the painting is gonna have to cost, like, $150 just for the supplies, just for the paint I had to use. But valuing art is so weird. Such a finicky conversation to have with anybody. Kind of ends with like, for me, if I can paint till I die, then I've done what I've wanted to do. I've said it since I was 3 years old. In my head I wanted to learn how to paint worlds and get the best I possibly can at it. So if I die and I leave behind several hundred paintings of worlds that I created, and even hopefully several thousand paintings, I hope, then I think that was my purpose here on this earth. Obviously I hope that I can be as comfortable as possible, but you know, if I can have a roof over my head and keep eating, creating paintings, and get to the level that I deem to be satisfactory, then yeah, it's ultimately the goal. And because it takes so much time, I'm here spending a lot of time on it, and doesn't necessarily mean it's going to monetize, you know. So I'm 31, I'm not too far from 32. I'm happy with where I am in my life, but maybe hopefully by the time I'm 40 or even before then, I can figure out how to get out there more, because I feel ready. I feel like I've honed my skills enough to take on any commission, no matter the difficulty. I feel ready. I'm prepared now. You know, take me 10 years back. I wouldn't have. Think I felt ready for like a rush if there was any. But I always feel a student to every painting. Like when I say I'm ready, I'm not done. I still feel like I'm. You know, the voice in my head still feels like it tells me I'm crappy at painting, but it's more of a motivational voice. A push myself voice. When did I first start streaming? A good question. I think my first art stream was... trying to think. Well, I've been making content my whole life, like since I was little. Or since you were able to use a camera and upload it to the internet, but the live streaming art, jeez, I think it's been 4.5 years, 5 years. Maybe that's a little high. I can't remember. Because they were very primitive at first. I had a way shittier computer, really bad internet connection, and they would always disconnect on me and. But I would say when we got going on drawing of the day a couple of years ago was when it really started kicking off. Yeah, I don't have an exact number. I can't remember. I have to figure out what year I was living at a particular house, and then I would know. Didn't even know art streaming would work. Like when I first started thinking about it, I didn't know how to make it fun or even interesting at all. I mean, I think the funnest ones are when we finish a painting in one sitting, but those can be grueling, and often I feel a little unsatisfied because I didn't get to spend as much time on the painting as I'd like. But I think these days I've learned to be more relaxed with it and not take it too seriously and just be myself. I think when I first started doing it, I tried to be too much of a YouTube personality and tried to like do something that wasn't sustainable, I guess. But I feel like it's more balanced now, and I like the camera setup I have, and of course that's always subject to change and improve, but I want to say it's going on for like streaming though, 4.5, something like that. But I've been making videos, you know, time lapses forever. Into comedy videos for a while. Always loved making comedy skits. Kind of slapstick, like escalation comedy. But yeah, the art streaming is probably last 5 years. And does it translate into sales? Yes, it does sometimes. It does sometimes. If anything, it translated to all the sales, but I think I was only selling them when it was what they wanted me to paint. So what we did drawing of the day was we'd have people decide in chat. So, you know, be like, okay, like what are we doing? You know, like and like the recent system. So we had season 1 of drawing of the day. I think we did 29 episodes. Not 29 paintings. Maybe less than that because some paintings would take 2 episodes. But the second season, rather than it was like we would just kind of toss stuff in the painting as it was going, it was more of a voting system. We're doing prompts, which the next one's a Castle Siege. I know I haven't gotten to it yet, and it's been quite a while. But that's just the journey of an artist, and sometimes when you set out to do difficult subjects like that, you kind of want to study them and think about them for a while and There's other subjects I can dive right into, but that was a particularly hard one, and I'm getting more ready by the minute for it. I think I wanted to see through some gouache paintings because that's the medium I want to do it in. It's my medium I want to do the rest of my paintings in. I think I've found my truly my favorite paint. I've tried oil, I've tried acrylic, I've tried watercolor, and this one is my favorite. Which I like watercolor too, but I like working more opaque. But yeah, I think that they only have sold when it's someone found some sort of attachment to them, either because they were able to contribute into the idea, which makes sense, or decide it. Ultimately, the paintings I do that are random, that I just like, oh, this is what I want to paint, they don't sell as much, but it makes sense. It's not something where I'm sitting here like, it doesn't make sense. Don't know why that's happening. And I love letting you guys decide as much as I possibly can, for sure. The early days, I think Willowwood is when I got hooked. Yeah, the early days, yep. You know, that was when we didn't even know how. This is one of those paintings this time. Like, this wasn't a prompt, for example. If anything, this was like this is kind of how we used to do it. Random painting. Add things as we go. This was just like an Arizona Mesa scene. We didn't even have these giant archways. And suddenly, at some point, it was just like, alright, we're adding a dwarven mining camp. Because, you know, I like high fantasy. My favorite thing. Just taking a sip of water here. But while I managed to keep motivating myself to come on here and do these streams, I really appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate anyone tuning in. Really do. And usually I have a camera on my face, but I've been doing it like this because we get more screen real estate, and I'll definitely do more streams where you guys can see me. Just like, I know it's sometimes more interesting to see what the artist looks like and see the expressions on my face and stuff, but I guess to me it's more about the artwork that's happening. And to be quite honest, sometimes I don't really like a camera on me all the time. Even though, like, literally I've spent my entire life uploading myself to social media, so it kind of sounds contradictory to say that. I mean, what are y'all opinions on that? Do y'all like to see the face? Like, what does that do for you? Does it connect you to me more? Does it feel more personable? I'm always curious of different people's experiences. That is one big landscape. Makes you want to go explore out there. It's funny you say that, because I recently visited Arizona, and that's actually where a lot of this inspiration comes from, because there's just so many awesome views out there. But the reason why you made me chuckle is because I literally said that 100 times. There's something about how vast the landscape is out there, and how it just goes out there forever, that makes you want to walk out into it. And I can't describe that beyond that, but it's like what's at that bush over there, like 5 miles out, you know? I guess that's just my brain, but I totally relate with that. I get a little more yellow going on in here. Very subtle touch of it. Too much paint on my brush. Goes the white hot to the yellow to the orange. It makes it exciting. Yes. Are you saying like the painting exciting or like those kind of landscapes exciting? Alright. Activate. I'm gonna get a bigger brush here really quick. I bought a couple new brushes today too. Literally a couple. One was a fine tipped and the other one was a it was called a chisel brush. Here it is. Just trying it out. I like my flat brushes a lot. I do most of the work with my flat. This is paint with mostly entirely a flat brush until I had to come up here, get more fancy dancy with the different little details. Let's see. I don't want to go ahead and start ruining my brush immediately. I'll take my, this brush is pretty beat up. It's pretty much has turned now into like a bush brush or a leaf brush, not so much it used to be a flat brush, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see, if I turn it up towards you, it's kind of lost its edge. The landscapes, yeah, absolutely, I agree. That's one of the reasons I like Drome. You can really just see so far, yeah. New Mexico too. It's crazy how far you can see out there. Just some rocks here, because this archway is a bit unfinished in its little details. It's gonna get the rest looking like it is over here. Luckily we have we're living the gouache life now, so we can just reactivate our palette where we were working last time. Now, this white here is glow paint, this blue here is glow paint, obviously that's glow paint powder. So, I'm just trying to watch out for using that right now. Because that was an experimental thing we did. I used way too much white there. That was kind of a waste, but it was just for the sun. Oh, hello. How was your class? Nice. Yeah. Kirsten just got home. She's doing some yoga. I should probably be doing some yoga too. I'm an unflexible bastard. Let's see, try to get some yellow in here. It's mainly to brighten it up a little bit. But this orange is super bright. Cadmium orange. Which is apparently super toxic. Do you do exhibitions? So I didn't like setting up a tent and selling stuff? Yes, I have. And if that's what you mean. Like I said, I'm trying to do more of those again and get I think ideally if I could get like 2 a month, it'd be nice. Or even more, whatever, but different ones. So I got a lot of research and application sending work to do coming up ahead of me. I'm gonna push some of this red up here in the corner. The exhaustive part of it is just the hours of Google searching and emailing and typing and uploading the pictures that you think are impressive enough to get the spot. I also am considering going into some art competitions. If I can find ones that seem attractive to me. There's a lot more I can do, you know. It's like I'm not sitting here saying like, oh, it's I've tried everything I can do. I'm in the process of doing all I can to get out there. Open to any leads, any feedback, any advice on the marketing end of things. What's up? Figured I'd stream a little while. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I am not in a rush. You should put up your website and discount code on the stream. You're right, I should. My website was weird last time, so I couldn't do a discount code, and wanted to get to streaming before it was too late today. And I realized I can get lost in setting up a stream sometimes for like an hour. Get into clicking buttons and ooh, I'm gonna make this better. Next thing you know, I'm editing my UI and changing it, and but seems like people are hungry for some new art right now. There's not really anything selling on my website, but go check it out. I can put it in chat right now. I'll send a link. It's called planetjokum.com. It's just my channel name.com, basically. We got stickers. I'll give you a little tour of it really quick. So that should show up in chat there, and should be clickable with the YouTube chat and or the Twitch chat, depending on where you're watching from. I usually stream from Facebook too, but they have just not let me connect to my stream software lately. I don't know, there's like some API glitch going on. I just have to create a new window and drag it over here really quick. I'll be able to show you. Let's see. Alright. So, this is the first page that should come up when you load it. It's called the limited availability page, and these are all the things that will run out once they sell out. So, these were the series we did recently from the last drawing of the day, like hardcore painting a day session. I think it started here. This first one. And they got increasingly intense as they normally do. So as you can see, only 17 left of this one. Once they, and these are digitally painted in Clip Studio with the oil brush, one layer pretty much on all of them. I think they are all one layer. There's a few maybe I did a couple, but I think this was the only one actually that was 2 layers, because I was trying to get this this pink energy on the these are obsidian pillars, and we decided towards the end of the painting, oh, we want them to be like kind of connected or radiating some sort of flowy magic energy, and I decided it looked better if I put the energy on another layer, because the nature of the oil brush in the program, it blends. So that's obsidian pillars, and these were all voted on prompts. So like this was moss giants. And I don't remember exactly what the prompt was, but it was like giant moss giants roaming a landscape of some sort or something like that. This was a more extensive one that took a lot more. I think it took 3 streams to finish this one, just because of the idea. It was wraiths invading a city, coming out of a demonic portal, and people running, and it's like raining, and it was just a crazy idea. Like there's just certain ideas, like this one kind of like a castle siege. Especially because I've switched back to like traditional medium for an undisclosed amount of time. I don't know. I don't have a set time, but these crazy ideas go a little bit quicker with digital. But yeah, that's one of them. That's one of the more crazy ones. And then we finished off before I went to Arizona with crystal mangroves here. But they're available in a few different things. See, prints and posters is the cheapest. version. And you can see there's only a certain amount left of each kind. So if you go to like 10 by 10, there's 5 left of the 10 by 10. There's 12 by 12, 4 left of the 12 by 12. You can go 20 by 20, only 4 available. And then there's the canvas prints, which are huge. They're a bit more expensive, but they're actually canvas prints. They're giant canvas prints, 20 by 20 and 30 by 30. And then a new feature actually, which is cool, I try to point it out now and again, is the afterpay. So you can split anything on my website into 4 payments. Other than like the limited availability, which I consider like the artwork I'm proud of, that I work really hard on, all of it is. But there's more like merchy stuff. If you go over here, you can go to stickers. So you click drawing, sketches, stickers, and merch, and you can go to stickers. You click here, and then it'll be split again. I gotta be better about my redesign my website and make them look like buttons. That's one thing I don't like about it, but Squarespace is kind of limiting in what they let you do, to be honest. Like they advertise like, oh my god, make your website look exactly how you want. And then like when you want to make it look exactly how they want it, they're like, oh, it looks like you gotta know JavaScript code and HTML. Here's a bunch of cool templates, you know, that you can't really change that much. It's like, you can change a lot about them, but not as custom as I'm looking. Anyway, stickers, like, you know, like health potion, mana potion, I got Yetis, different colors. Morris the Frog, that's an inside joke sticker. It's just from an old painting from the old drawing of the day, and then magnetic cow too, but and then of course my logo. Where we started with the sticker thing. Things you can pick from are growing randomly. This was created a coaster with the cave bar painting and a pint glass. And then I have sketches. This is a section I've added recently. I'm still building. These are like sketches out of my sketchbook. I wouldn't consider them like finished masterworks, but they're my sketches, and some people have bought my sketches before I had my sketchbook, so I decided to put them up. And that's pretty much it. Other than you have all the links to the social media over here. If you're on the front page, you can also just donate to me directly by clicking this button and checking out with however much you want to do. So yeah, check that out if you want to look around. If you join the Discord, which I'll put in the chat now, it's also something else we do and hang out in. We can share each other's art, and there's oftentimes we share what we're working on with each other, and we can talk about it on stream. And I think not many days pass without someone sharing something they're working on, so I find that fun. Yeah. Other than that, if you subscribe to Twitch tier 1, 2, or 3, you get a permanent discount off my website, increasing with each tier. And it's 5%, 10%, 50% off anything on the website. So that was a long spiel, but I guess sometimes it's worth advertising myself, right? Mm-hmm. Because if you don't know, you won't tell, you won't buy, you won't visit. But anyway, back to the painting. I try to not tell myself I feel annoying when I'm advertising. People are way more annoying about it than I am. Yep. Commercials are. Anyway. But there you go. planetjokum.com. Test out my new brush I bought today.
Oh, you got a new brush?
Yeah. Little flat guy here. And this is like my orange color highlight. This will not dry this bright. It's the gouache life, but I'm getting used to it and how it works. I've done many gouache paintings now, but I would say this is probably one of my more serious ones where I'm diving in with it, feeling more confident, and trying a more extravagant idea with it. Works a lot like watercolor, but not 100%. What's cool about it though is they Winsor & Newton apparently designs their watercolors and their gouaches to like mix really well together with each other, which I can see why. I like already did that on accident at first. Thank you for the tour, no problem. Thank you for asking, and thank you for being interested. Oh yeah. I'll keep that in mind for your birthday. Wink, wink. So I'm whitening out some of this orange here, just to get some of those scraped rock textures kind of down here, the little white spots you see. Because these rocks indeed break off over time as they erode, and some fall, and some hit other ones, and they create little impact marks and scrape marks, and they're not all perfectly orange, especially up close like this. And these are all observations I make in real life first before I feel like I know what I'm talking about. You can learn it all from just going out and looking. Which I still don't do enough. I want to get on a regimen where I go out and I'm painting out abroad. I think I'm just not quite happy with my portable setup. I gotta improve it to a point where I'm feeling good about going and setting up. Looking at easels today, they're so damn expensive, man. But I definitely gotta get myself a higher performance easel. They sell some really cool ones, and they have like the trays that attach to them, so you can have all your paints out and blah blah blah. It's like maybe a Christmas gift I can buy myself or something. Save up for it. I tell you, like the more hours you spend doing something like this, it's like the more comfort, the better. Like you increase your comfort by 0.2 because you like. The palette you're holding has like a little cushion where your thumb goes. Like I swear that helps. Like just overall paint better. Same thing with playing an instrument. If your strap's off and something's digging into your shoulder during a show, it'll make you miss a note, believe it or not. It can take your mind off it just enough to get you out of that flow state. So now you're doing it to a means to an end. You know, it's, oh, now I'm uncomfortable. I'm cold. I hate my chair I'm sitting in. Like, now I'm rushing the painting. I'm on. You know what I mean? Now I want to go home. It's like as comfortable as I can make it. I don't think there's any limit to that. If you need to bring a whole damn recliner out into the field, then so be it. But I want it to all fit in a backpack, so I can like hike and find like a super beautiful spot. Or scene, and or I should say inspiring. Not gonna all think the same things are beautiful, but where I can go find something that inspires my eyes. Because ultimately, like, I like finding other photographs that were already taken that were beautiful, but like, there's just something different about being out in the middle of the woods on your own, like looking around, and then you like the sun is at a certain time of day, and it just like peeks through this little crack in the trees and hits this rock that no one else knew about because you're off the trail, and suddenly you find yourself looking at this whole scene that you're not gonna find on Google Images or wherever the hell you search your images. How much is a portable easel? Well, it depends. They can go anywhere from $50 to $300. And, you know, the $50 one is, if you lean on it too hard, it'll snap, and the $300 one is too overkill, you know? It weighs 90 pounds, and it's not going to fit in your backpack, so probably some nice spot in between. Definitely, from after shopping and looking at some, I'm leaning towards, like, the aluminum alloy types and not the wood kinds. I already have a wood one, and it's a pain in my ass. It's all screw, and it's almost like they tried to make it like cool and not useful, and I find that annoying with things. Like, oh, look at how like artsy it is. It's like screws, and like you have to use an Allen wrench to like turn it, and it's like, no, I want like metal modern clamps where it's a button and it unclips and like holds it nice, and it doesn't even hold the painting nice. It's really wobbly. It's like it'd be the equivalent of like you go to like an art show, and there's someone that makes like custom easels by hand with wood crafting or something. Like that's what the easel feels. And like, not to hate on that, like that's cool, but like just want something like machine made and sturdy and practical, you know? I like your style and outlook. Well, cool, I'm glad it makes any bit of sense. You're actively watching me try to get good at gouache here, as it's been the third type of paint I've tried now to fall in love with. So I'm adjusting my style and outlook as we go, but I think I've honed it in more than ever in my life. I tend to like the graphic blended with the painterly. A little bit of outline here and there. Mostly painterly, but a little bit towards the cartoony side. I've always loved the realism level of, like, say, like a SpongeBob background, you know, or like a Rick and Morty background, where the characters are really simple, but like the way that they paint those, or I really love the art style from World of Warcraft too. It's particularly strikes that note, where they pick and choose their hard outlines, but where they do, it's very meaningful. So still working on that. I still find something all the time. Like, ooh, I like how that looks. So one thing I'm learning about this chisel brush immediately is that it doesn't hold a lot of water, which is good for a lot of things, but not for others. I can see that would be the blaring difference for me between a long flat brush and a short flat brush, is one holds more water than the other. So this would be a great dry brush tool. And you do a lot of dry brushing with gouache. If anything, most of it is dry brushing. I pretty much dab my brush on the sponge immediately every time because this is always too much water. It's another thing that's been added to my setup is these sponges. They worked wonders for improving the workflow, because before I'm always looking for something to take the paint out on. You know, before it was my pants, my clothes. I love the style developing with graphic and painterly. Me too. I'm loving it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and makes me want to draw when I find how I want to draw. If that makes sense. I think it's easy to get lost in like a whirlpool of mediums and art supplies, and I mean it's endless. Inks and acrylic inks and gouache and oil and acrylic, and it goes on and on and on and on. And I've tried them all since day one. I started as a pencil artist, then I went into pen and ink shortly after because I liked how much more black it was. I never enjoyed how it's hard to get pencil really black. I know there's blacker pencils out there you can buy that like have more carbon in them, and there's all these techniques, and you can get pre-blended graphite, and there's ways around it, you know. It's just, but personally, I just want to have something that says it's black, and I put it down and it's black as fuck, you know. Like I don't want to have to do 3 hoops just to make something pure black. And then on top of that, I painted my whole life, like construction painting houses, exterior, interior, and one day, like my crew painting buddy, he's like, why don't you try like art painting? And I was just kind of like, for the first time, for some weird reason, just like, you're right. And here I am, obsessed. Like it was the medium I should have tried when I was born, you know. But ultimately, I'm glad I took the long road to it, because I developed so much draftsmanship, like with like lines and perspective and stuff first, because painting's very blobby and hard to control. And I think when I already had the line work or practice, it's helped control edges and lines in painting, basically. And here I am now, 31 years old, and I currently love gouache. We'll see where this goes. But ultimately, I'm not a what's up smash the like guy YouTuber, so I think I tend to draw the more chill, relaxed audience, which is fine. I mean, ultimately, if my channel blows up someday, that's the audience I'd want. Not much of an art product reviewer like Jazz. I don't know if you guys watch like Jazza at all, or have you seen jazz art? But that's like the style I'm talking about, where it's like really like bombastic art channel, like just very engaging in the sense of like snappily edited, and like today I'm trying an art challenge that's trending, like, you know what I mean? We're happy on the bandwagon with those sometimes, but it's not, I don't want it to be the primary focus. But maybe by the time, you know, maybe it's like set myself a 2-year goal or year goal from now, like get consistent art shows throughout the year. So at least, even if I'm not selling anything, I can promise myself an experience where I'm surrounding myself with other artists and I'm talking to other artists, and it's in real life. It's not digital. And yeah, so get on that. Well, meanwhile, trying not to drown in my finances while taking time away from making money. Which I am drowning. And that's the struggle of like setting time aside, because the second I do, I'm like, well, you know, I didn't make $500 this week because I decided to paint for 40 hours, and ultimately my soul feels 100% better that I spent 40 hours painting instead of making money. But I'm still not there yet. Still not at a point where I can totally art, but I don't want to give up. I can't. I don't feel like I can't. I'm capable at this point. I'm too deep. And I think ultimately that's what makes me shut down when I like try to. Just like, what's the point? You know, I can see if you're like 18 years old and you're like, yeah, you know, it's ain't for me, but it's like, I don't know. I'm not one to set any age to anything. I don't agree. I don't believe in that either. You start painting when you're 70 and become professional by the time you're 75. It all depends on how hard you work at it. But I just feel like I'm on that path to mastery, and I can't put it down. I want to get my paintings to the point where they communicate with the viewers so strongly there's no mistake on what's happening. There's just those undeniably good painted paintings out there. You look at them, it's like, god damn that lighting, you know? It's like, so it's a journey that I feel obligated to at this point. For myself. It's a me thing. Do it the most while I can while I'm young and healthy, and I'm not having to pay medical bills. Hopefully my eyes and my hands stay steady and healthy. Just that I needed some more shadow over here. I'm gonna get my pop-up window over here. What time is it for you now? Right now it is 6:30 p.m. where I am. That's so cool how you got going. I also do house painting and decorating. Nice. Yeah, it pays good. It pays good. I personally don't like getting chemicals in my eyes all day. I think that's what steers me away from it the most. But I can't seem to escape it. Because, you know, someone reached out, hey, you know, you want to paint my house for $3,000? And I'm like looking at my bank account. I'm like, yeah, I guess. Yeah, no, yeah, I do. I'm like looking at my Uber driver app, and I'm like, yeah, I'll paint your house for $3,000. I'm telling you, I have thoroughly tried the DoorDash, Uber Eats, Amazon Flex thing. And you can make money doing it. But what would be a good analogy? Make it a video game analogy. It'd be the equivalent to like playing an RPG game, and like you're out killing like level 2 goblins that drop 10 copper each, and let's say there's a currency system where it's like 10 copper, it's like copper, silver, and gold, right? It takes 100 copper to have 1 silver. It takes 100 silver to have 1 gold. And it's like, yeah, you know, you can go kill level 2 goblins for 15 hours and get your paycheck that you need, but it's way too much time for like to meet those points, you know, where, you know, painting a house is like, no, I'm gonna go kill level 89 black dragons in the cave, and they drop fucking 15 gold each black dragon, but you know, it's a fucking pain in the ass to kill those black dragons. And they breathe chemicals into your eyeballs when you look at them. I like extensive abstract analogies, sorry. So deal with it. Sorry you haven't played an RPG if you don't get it. Go play one. You might enjoy it. Nah, but yeah. It's like killing level 1 boars. It's like never leaving the level 1 island and just like killing 1 million boars to get 10 gold is what it's like to deliver for DoorDash. It's exactly what it feels like. I'm glad you got it. I knew someone would get it. Anyone that played World of Warcraft would get that. But anyone that learns level 1 of business knows that people that have money don't work hourly. They make large transactions in one single transaction at a time, like monthly. Whether that be a giant, like selling a business or flipping a house, blah blah blah. There's a lot of ways you can make large transactions overnight. And they reinvest those into larger transactions, and then it just gets exponential from there. It's not about hourly. Rich people don't. They didn't go get a 17-hour job and work 40 hours a week for their whole life. Like, no one makes a lot of money doing that. It's a good starting point and gets you places, but ultimately, it's not. I really love a brand new brush, man. The edge is so sharp. Someone could invent a brush that the edge never decays. That'd be amazing. Okay, I'm hopping around. Let me see. What do I want to do here? I was on the plants. Let me finish the plants because they're really close, and that can be an aspect that's done. And then I can move on from. I'm gonna get a fatter brush here. Let me see if. I was saying earlier, I can turn this into a dry dabber brush. So sometimes when your brush is dying and you know it's on its way out, you can turn it into another kind of brush that just does something else for you rather than throwing it away. So this used to be a very sharp, flat brush, and if I just kind of fray the bristles a little bit, sort of like that, I can come and reactivate some of my green here. Very dry, by the way. Reactivating it as dry as possible. I don't want this to be a wet brush. And the point, you want to get the bristles, it's probably hard to see, but you want to get the bristles to the point where they're kind of separating and getting clumped up chaotically. Because ultimately what's happening is you're making like little leaf stamps. So like each bristle is making its own little individual leaf. But when you dab, you can see, let me see if I dab it a little bit. You can see how it's making a leafy texture. And saving me all that work. Bob Ross is famous for this sort of thing. And many people have sought out his style and tried to learn it because it saves a lot of time and it's something worth knowing in painting. And it's worth rotating your brush, not keeping it the same, keep changing the angle of it a little bit chaotically. Just rotate it chaotically, change the angle of it chaotically. and that will create the organic pattern of leaves, because if you don't turn your brush and you don't angle it while you do it, it will create the same exact stamp of same exact leaf pattern stamp every time, and you'll be able to tell. And that's one mistake I see in trees often. If I was to critique a painting through the lens of, we are trying to draw a realistic tree, because I know this is a hairy topic with like, all art is accepted and beautiful, and it's like, all right, well then let's narrow it down to like, we're trying to achieve realism. In that case, it's very easy to do too similar of leaves throughout the tree. And if you go outside and look at the nearest tree you have, you can see that there's not one leaf the same. It's just like snowflakes. Every single leaf in a tree is slightly turned at a different angle, different size, different level of health, whether it has disease on it, or it's a new leaf, or it's new growth, or old growth, or it's dying. Different stage of its life means it's a different color, so you also have to wiggle the color with the leaves. It goes on and on, but it's important to get that wiggle down, or whatever you want to call it, the chaotic brush wiggle. And the thing is, I necessarily didn't even really like this bush that's happening, because it's not really desert planty. One thing I learned about desert plants is they're really spiky and stabby and sort of sticky. Not sticky as in like adhesive, but like very, like a lot of them look like they're dead. A lot of like foliage mixed with dead ones that didn't make it. I'm gonna go for a bit darker here of green. I've learned with gouache to, if you can, asterisk if you can, work from light to dark. It tends to benefit you more. Tends to, I say it like that because, I don't know, you run into a lot of different situations while you paint, and due to transparent medium nature, it just works in your benefit to go from light to dark. If anything, especially with skies, and you pretty much, you dry the brush out to the point where you barely have any paint on it. You will have to dip more. It's 20 to 1 in the morning here, and I've got to get my head down. Catch you later. Thanks for sharing. Hey, I really appreciate you, Rainbow. I appreciate you joining in and sharing the love. And spending your precious time with me, because all our time is very precious, so it's an honor when you decide to spend some of it with my art. So I hope you have a great day, and a good rest, I should say. Catch you around. See you around. Catch you around. I think that's a new one. I don't think anyone said that before. Catch you around. Whatever, we're just gonna make this a random bushy guy, I don't care. This little rebel lives in the desert, that's what Bob would say. But this guy doesn't like to follow the rules. Random deciduous forest bush. I want to add some stickiness to it, not adhesive. So this brush died, unfortunately, because last time I painted, I put it upside down in the cup without paying attention, and it's permanently bent. So now we have a permanently bent tiny round brush, but I'm going to still try to use it. I think some glow-in-the-dark powder got in our black here, but whatever. I'm not advertising this as a glow-in-the-dark one. It was just that little, we can call it Easter egg. This has glow-in-the-dark Easter eggs in it. I honestly didn't plan to sell this, or this wasn't for any particular audience or anything. I just wanted to explore gouache with an extensive idea, because extensive ideas make you do everything. We got plants in here, we got rock, we got the atmosphere, we got the clouds, we have some industrial parts, we got metal. A lot going on. There's a little dwarf, first little dwarf there in the little excavator. We're gonna get Hopefully a couple more. I have to make them make sense though. I don't want to just be like slapping dwarves everywhere. Just cause we said like,
Unofficial.
you know.
Please don't slap dwarves.
Not actually slap them, you know. He's slapping dwarves in the face.
Slapping them left and right.
Alright, thank you so much, baby. I get my dead brush here to create more color. I need to make some more green. I gotta get my brighter green back that I had before. And don't be too scared letting colors mix in your palette, because ultimately, if you need a pure color, you can get it by either getting more paint out of the tube or just activating the shit out of whatever color has other colors on top of it. But other than that, don't worry about it, because like it's doing a lot of the color wiggling for you if you let colors mingle on your palette. Now this blue has an ass load of that glow in the dark powder, so I think I'm gonna get some new blue and just put it behind it so I know that that's the color with it. The pigment, the paint without the pigment in it. Got my bag full of new gouache. There's something satisfying about that. I love new tubes of paint. But here's my sad used blue. Hi. You okay? You need something? Just chilling? Okay, I didn't know if you needed to tell me something. But yeah, so this we spent last episode putting a lot of blue or glow powder right there. So for the first time ever, I was looking on Amazon earlier for gouache, and it wasn't cheaper. I was like, holy shit. It was like 21 bucks for a tiny 14 milliliter tube. And if you look at the size of my finger, yeah, that's a 14 milliliter tube. It's a ripoff, man. So I went to my local fancy art store that has the good stuff, the dank stuff. And because I have like a reward saving card with them, it ended up being $6 for each tube. 6 something. But you know, that adds up quick. I think I was just short of $90 today, and I got 2 brushes that were really small, and I think 6 new tubes of gouache, and also some more canvas paint on. Just boom, $100. But check this out. So I came across these. I haven't tried them before, but I really liked how they felt. So sorry guys, I should be back right now. It reconnected on its own. I don't expect any of you to hop in that quick because there's a latency. So yeah, sorry. It should be reconnected. It should be reconnected. I'll just keep saying that. It should be reconnected. It should be reconnected. And now my color correction's all out of whack. What the frick just happened? What just happened? Is it back now? Shit. Sometimes our internet just farts and farts just long enough for everything to disconnect. Hopefully everyone's back. I'm sorry, the stream, the internet pooped. I don't know what happened. Which is weird because like nothing else disconnected besides the stream. And I gotta fix this color correction because now it's like insanely red. I don't know why that did that. Like, why would a disconnect adjust my color correction? It's just not even a connected feature. I think it's a hue shift thing here. Nope, it's a little too yellow. Just trying to get as close to what I'm seeing as possible. Something else happened too. Heck. Why did that happen? Sorry, anyone just getting back in. It crashed for absolutely an unknown reason. Hopefully you can hear me. And it's all running smooth again. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to do defaults. Okay. So, was it my contrast that went up? Yeah, sorry, Steph, but it crashed. I don't know why. It's being weirdly spiky right now, like my kilobytes per second. I don't know why. Okay. I guess that's pretty close. Surprisingly, because I just pressed defaults. So I'm so confused right now as to like what changed, because see what my hand looks like. Alright, whatever, I'm just gonna keep it there. Anyway, right before it crashed, I was explaining that I got these. They're called art boards. And they're like pre-glued solid boards. With really nice texture on it. That's actually less textury than the watercolor paper I have. The 300 gram is great, like I said, don't get me wrong. The thing is, when it comes to shipping these paintings out to people or framing them later, I think it'll save a little bit more stress on the other party's part for like getting it mounted on something. But mainly, the main thought for me was my like painting out abroad. Like these will be able to go right onto an easel, and I won't need to find some way to like tape it, mount the paper. But I already have. Not that I have to find a way. I have a way. It's just tape in a clipboard. But just want to try them out. I'm always trying to get one new thing just in case I like it more. But it comes in 10 in a pack. This is 9 by 12s. It's either a little bit smaller, but I think that's a good size. I was one size down before I walked out of the store for this. And then I was like, you know what, that's a little small, and the other size is only $3 more, so yeah. I just like smashed my camera here. Sorry. What did I hit? Oh, there we go. Let's see. Thank you for joining back. I appreciate it. I realized the view count's back to where it was. I crashed. My bad. Okay. So we were making green. That's what I was doing. Surprised I even remembered where I was. Now, this is because I have to save money, but when I was in the store and I was getting gouache, I was like, I almost got a few pre-mixies and I almost got another orange. But I ended up just getting the primaries. Just got like 3 primary reds, 3 primary blues, or 3 primary yellows, and a blue because I already had some. And I've done this whole painting with just primary colors, like besides the orange. And in one light it can be faster if you know, like, okay, I need like ochre, like perfect yellow ochre for this, and you just like get it out of the tube, but you're kind of already there. Like, you don't gotta like take yellow and then like put a little white in it and a little black and then like, you know, whatever you do to get to yellow ochre. There's a few ways you can get to it. But for me, it's like when I mix from primary, I feel like I ultimately have more control over the types of colors I get, if that makes sense. Even if it takes a little bit more work. And then you save more money because there's just like, I don't know, I think there's 86 colors in the designer gouache series of the brand I get. So, yeah. 86 times 14, it's not a cheap price. Yeah, yes. Very good. I like retightened it a little bit so it doesn't fall. No problem. Had to open the old pickle jar. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm good for, painting and opening pickle jars. Alright. Get some brighter green on here. Too bright. Dab it off. You know what it is? My brush isn't set up right now. It's too wet. I'll go to darken this a little bit. And I did have some black in here, so I'm gonna grab that. And we're right up in the foreground here, so we can get away with being a lot more saturated. We don't have to worry about getting all of the red color and the greens and stuff. Huh. Get a little bit on my brush. Let's try that. Almost. Need a little bit more paint. Come with the little brush here. Get some of this darker green back for some specific dots. Actually, I need to dry this up quick. Hair dryer. It's almost like my... What the heck happened? It's almost like when the stream reset, it like... Test. Okay, the limiter's there. It like reset a bunch of my filters I had on stuff. I don't know why it's doing that. Oh well. Sorry you gotta hear the hairdryer. Normally it cancels it out. Oh, there it is. It is canceling it out. Now it is. This is fantastic. What's up, Kate? Good to see you here. I missed a bunch of the painting. Oh hell. More exciting for you then. Did you get to see the part where we made the crystals glowy? I think you were there for that. Yeah, but we're in the stage of the painting where, you know, it takes a lot to see progress. Little details. Call this a jokum plant, because I don't know what the hell kind of plant it is. Just made it up. Talking about brush technique. Just tweaking it around here. I kind of like when it blocks the bottom of this pole. Try that out. Cover that sand entirely. It's a bit lush looking for a desert, but whatever. Get some of this dark color here again. I watched the glow test, but I missed the crystal testing. I came in the last 5 minutes of that live. Ah, okay. Yeah, so indeed, it keeps its color as long as you mix it and paint it in a certain way. And they glow blue, which is pretty freaking awesome. I did not expect that to happen. And they glow for a while. Like, you can't see it in broad daylight, but when you go in the dark, it's glowy. I'm just detail hopping right now. See if this brighter green will finally cooperate with me. I'll dry it up again a bit. Speaking of art tent things, I even looked into the Citrus Art Festival, but that one's damn expensive to have a tent spot. You have to pay more than you're gonna make as a little guy to even get a tent there. But I thought that'd be cool, you know, like time a visit to Rhode Island where I do an art show. It's probably more than, there's probably a little guy art show somewhere. My question is, what do you guys see when you look at this painting, even though I've told you already? Does it look like what it is? Or does it just look like a bunch of metal square objects? Citrus Art Festival a couple weeks from now is insane. Yeah, I know all about it. I've been many times. I've even busked there as a musician many times back in the day. Yeah, it's a cool little Rhode Island thing. But it's like $250 or higher to get a tent there. It's like, damn, like, okay. Pay a little less than a month worth of utilities to get your tent spot. It's like how my brain thinks in currency now. It's like, that's worth an electric bill. Alrighty. Hey there. Alrighty. Smells good. And the bush looks a little wacky right now because it will be cut off by the tape. Like, or cropped, I should say. It's a great place to be a street musician. Yeah, it was one of the better ones I've done. I'm down to thinking how it would be a tank of gas. Yeah, same. I had that moment today going to the art store. I was like, alright, I got 72 miles in my tank. I'll just make it back with like 19 miles left in my tank. I was like, sweet, I can go. I've been in and out of money though. That's the gig life. So you have good times and you have broke times. But you can still have a lot of great times when you're broke. It's not the direct conduit to joy. I think just sometimes it's nice to not have to worry about it, is what it is, really. You know, it's not always like, back to the drawing board for this month, you know? Get some, we can get a little prickly pear over here. I wonder if like the art store would let me trade a bunch of like brand new paint for gouache. Probably not. Because I have like a gallon of acrylic that I'm like probably not gonna get around to using before it like goes bad. Doesn't really go that bad. Like, I've yet to have paint go bad. Paint goes bad when you like let it freeze or it sits in too hot of conditions. Yeah, agree. Money is only comfort, not joy. Yes, agreed. This highlight color got carried away a bit. And sometimes this dark green is dark enough where you can just use it for branches. You don't have to go. You don't have to worry about going to mix some like black or brown color. The thing is too, like within that bush, there's tons and tons of green ambient light bouncing off the branches. That will ultimately make them have a lot of green in them anyway. If you're painting like a lush, dense forest with like a thick canopy, you can pretty much use green, the whole, like a monochromatic green palette. But the sand underneath this is lacking a bit of value here. It's had so much green on it. Oops. Value as in shade. See what this looks like. Ultimately, this sand won't be as bright as the sand that's in sunlight, right? The thing that takes a while with lighting and shading is you have to account for all the situations you create for yourself. And that's what'll make an idea easier or harder. It's like, alright, well, dwarven mine camp. What situations did I create for myself? Well, you know, you have all the buildings on the ground. Those are gonna block light. You got this conveyor belt, you know, it's not. And we don't have direct sunlight over here, so it's not like taking over the world, but it will be a little darker under here. I'm ultimately not like worrying about it too much. It's I'm gonna cut into this bush a little bit too. Wasn't really happy with its shape. Want it more like bush on the ground there. And then I feel like it's kind of realistic to have some plants gather around the pole here. Could you think like plant removal? Like unless they had like a weed whacker or something. What do you guys call it? You call it a weed eater or a weed whacker? I've always called it a weed whacker. Whacker, ah! So I'm not alone. Do you guys call it a pressure washer or a power washer? I always said power washer. Power? Really? Must be a northern thing then. Not that Kate represents all of the north, but you know.
And I represent all of the south.
Once you get used to transparent mediums, man, it saves you so much time color mixing. So now I'm just removing gouache. Let me dry this. By the way, it might be worth mentioning. I appreciate all the bits and stuff and stars you guys send to the ends of the earth, but there is a donate button on my website that I will get 100% of the money donated there, even though it takes more steps. But just worth saying, because they do take a cut of bits and subscriptions. Costs you $5 a month to subscribe to me, but I get like $3.50 of that. And Twitch gets the rest. So I notice a lot of other creators mentioning that to their fans. Because a lot of fans don't want to, you know, because like some of these people I watch, they're getting $100 super chats, $200 super chats. Not like it gets that big, you know. It's like, imagine you donate $100, I only get 70 of it. You know what I mean? That's where it starts getting like, whoa. I do think it's northern, yeah, me too. We don't say fixing to do something either.
Fixing up.
I reckon I'm fixing. I feel like this darkening over here automatically already brought some more realism to how the sun is over here more on this sand. But gotta carry it through here.
Northernism. I know what you say. You call it.
What about a grocery cart? What do you call that? So, I don't know if this is weird, but I've always called it a carriage. I never called them carts.
Shopping cart.
I never had used the word shopping, I just said carriage. I don't think like Cinderella horse when I think carriage. Yes, a carriage is our family word for it. It's funny. But you said shopping cart first, so you say shopping cart. Also sandwiches. Grinder.
Isn't that a specific kind of sandwich?
Yeah, it's more like a sub.
Yeah.
Like a long... At least I think, anyway.
Yeah. So, jellied.
Yeah. I'm gonna get my little brush. This brush is wrecked. So you got these little spaces like next to the excavator, excavator, estivator,
The estimator.
Espicatator. Whatever the fuck it's called.
Accelerator.
Yeah.
Exterminator.
My mom has always called them buggies. Yes. Mo will say, go get a carriage. Yeah, I always say carriage. My dad says carriage too. That's probably why I say it.
A carriage and a buggy are the same thing, and neither of those things are a shopping cart, which is what makes it funny.
I'm calling it a consuming wagon from now on. Consumer wagon. Grinders are made on a torpedo with lunch meat and sliced cheese. Yes.
It's just torpedo roll. That's something we don't use.
Is a torpedo roll the same as a hoagie or a sub? What's a hoagie again? I've seen that before.
It's like the bun for like a, not like a full Subway sandwich, but think like something between.
So not the foot long, the 6-inch?
Kind of, yeah.
So then what makes it a hoagie? What's the kind of?
I don't know. I mean, I didn't make this up.
Well, I was just asking you. You seem to know.
I just have seen the word used before. I guess it can be like a full sandwich made of a long roll filled with meat cheese.
Filled with meat cheese.
A submarine sandwich. Yeah, it's the same as a sub.
Gotcha.
It's just what you call it.
Okay. Oop, my brush is gone. So it's a okay. So a hoagie is a sub that's open on both sides. Yeah, but the picture she showed me, it's like, you know when you cut
It doesn't
a.
have to be though.
Okay, well never
Depends on
mind.
how it's cut. Oh, here
What's
you
what
go.
I'm saying?
Hoagie versus sub versus grinder. Are they all the same?
The sides are open on the hoagie.
Oh, and a hero. Some places like it's fucking heroes.
Hero
Uh-huh.
with a G.
No, not no, like hero, superhero.
Weird.
A sub is at least 6 inches long. It's constructed with a combination of meat, cheese, fixins, and dressing. It's usually served cold.
So it has to be cold.
Usually.
Nah, that's not a rule then.
Pennsylvanians, Philadelphians in particular, have their hoagies. A hoagie is just a sub, literally defined as a submarine sandwich. But it's like a specific Pennsylvania thing.
So it's just like where you live.
New York
That's
calls them
basically-
heroes.
It's the only difference.
Grinders, which is the New England-based term for a hero.
It's like, how have they said it for the last 100 years in that location?
Oh, some claim that it was named for grinders, which were Italian-American. It was Italian-American slang for dock workers, who were often sanding and grinding rusty hulls to repaint them. The term most likely comes from the fact that they were harder to chew than normal sandwiches.
Huh.
So,
Because of the Italian bread?
debatable, yeah, of why they're called grinders.
No shice.
Interesting. Learn something new every day.
Yeah, I like looking it up immediately.
Stomach footing.
Yes. I'm just making underneath this building much darker. Subs and Hoagie Hero are all halved. The grinder is only slit. Yes, grinders are made with Italian rolls. Okay.
So that would mean that Subway should be Grinder Way.
Yeah, it should be
'cause they
called.
just slit them.
Subway should be called Grinder Way. They don't cut them in half entirely.
No, they don't. Neither do most places now.
Lies. I mean, that's to me. That's fucking like it's a waste of words.
It's a regional thing. It's like a dialect.
Like you don't need to like. I don't think you need to have two different words for like a split, a single slit, or a cut it in half. Like, but I'm Mr. Practical, so it's over wording.
Yeah, colloquial, exactly. It's like a dialectual thing.
Colloquial. Well, that's the first time I've ever seen that word.
Like colloquial is like the step between like professional or academic and slang. So somewhere in the middle, like something that you'd say like casually or conversationally.
Okay.
Not like formal language, but not like full slang either. It's just like casual. I love words.
But wouldn't that be like the same thing as like Urban Dictionary, kind of?
Kind of. I feel like slang has a derogatory almost like association with it of usually slang. Not always, but slang. When you think of slang, you typically think of like lazy language or like
Right.
super informal.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's what I think of best.
Yeah, from a quick search, it seems like just a regional thing. Same difference. Well, I mean, that's the epitome of the English language. It's the same difference, man. I swear to God.
It's not just English though.
Or whatever, just like language.
Yeah. When you have enough people speaking the same language in different areas where their like culture is different enough, you're gonna get different words for different things.
Yeah.
Just like Spanish is spoken in Spain and Mexico, but they have completely different words for different
That's
things.
like a vast one, the Spanish one, right? Like there's a lot of different types of it.
Yeah. Literally, when you go to like translate, when you put in Spanish, you can like do like Spain Spanish or like Mexico Spanish, or if you're trying to learn,
Yeah.
there are differences.
Ecuadorian or whatever.
Language is interesting.
And frustrating.
Yes. Tell me about
Because it's like a lot of stuff feels really impractical. And you can only appreciate it through the lens of like being a scholar of like, well, this is where it originated.
it. I've always liked that though. I remember being like in my either preteens or like early teens, and because I was homeschooled, we were able to like cater what I wanted to do a little bit to what I actually liked, with as long as it was.
That's a perk.
Yeah. And so like I remember asking my mom to like get me books on like the origins of words. And I had this whole workbook that was like about the roots of words.
The origin of pterodactyl.
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 Dactyl. Yeah, etymology. It's cool stuff. It's very cool. Yeah, slang, informal, colloquial.
Well, can we create a new ology for like the future of like correcting words for being impractical? Refineology. Like, all right, we know that it was Latin and the Greeks did this, but like, let's just like make it easier now. 2023, let's go. In a commercial for September on twice. Ha! Like a Subway commercial, you mean? Oh no, like subscribe. No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Trying to get people to buy Twitch subscriptions. Ain't that funny, huh? Shouldn't the creators want to be pushing that? But they get 55%. Or I get 55, they get 50. That's what it is. Some people have 6,700 subscribers. It's insane. 10,000 subscribers. So at that point, you're not really caring, you know, if they take a cut, because you're getting whatever that is, 375 times 10,000. A month. No, I nearly died laughing. Seems like it can go darker. I guess I'll add a little blue to it. Which is really a gray mud. If it was a Crayola color, it'd be called gray mud. Or like... gray raisin.
Crayola swamp. Yes.
Yeah, Crayola swamp.
Swamp creatures.
What are those other ones called? Prunes? Dark prune. That's probably what this color is.
Excuse me.
I just remember I always remembered the color mac and cheese.
Oh yeah.
So I remember that made me laugh.
Yeah.
It's like, well, it's yellow, but cool. We'll call it mac and cheese.
It was a more orangey yellow.
You know what they call that in the fancy art world?
No.
Deep yellow.
Aren't you fancy? I'll keep calling it mac and cheese.
Yeah, that's more fun.
It is more fun.
I'm calling it Velveeta. Velveeta yellow.
Scandalous.
Well, see, you watch me just remove gouache there, trying to get it darker. I should have been more patient and dried it. Here we go. Hair dryer time. I should just like mess everyone up by calling colors different, something different every time. Grab my blueberry here, mix it with some strawberry. Take my rotten banana, brown. I have said creamsicle orange a lot during this painting though. That's pretty Crayola of me.
I mean, Crayola is doing
I love deep yellow pasta. Mmm. Me too, very appetizing.
That sounds so gross.
I like my cadmium cheese too.
Cadmium cheese.
Give me those quinacridone grapes.
They need there to be a food that's the color purple so I can call something that.
I'm sorry, dioxazine, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Dioxazine grapes. Funny how words can make something appetizing or completely not. Like in a heartbeat. It's like marketing is a powerful thing.
It's like how we were talking about like medical words earlier, and they just sound so gross.
Yeah, we were laughing earlier about how like why do like body and medical words have to be just so disgusting sounding? But then it's like she made a point where it's like, well, it's because they've been associated with them for hundreds of years, so there's that. But still, they're a little bit like less. I don't know, just certain words, you know. It's like kind of how like French and like Spanish, like it's considered like a romantic language because it's like let's go in my room with the candles. But then there's like German, like I'm Russian.
Now Germans are Russian.
All consonant, they're close enough to them. Close enough, man.
They're both like.
Just add a bunch of consonants.
Flimmy.
There's probably some German-Russian cross-contamination sounds.
They're both very harsh.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like harsh versus like wow.
As we are just
Yeah, exactly. I'm laughing alone in my house. Good, good. That makes me happy. Makes streaming worth it today, but I made someone laugh alone in their house. Because the visual alone is worth it. Boobies. I know only English, and I'm bad at it.
Bonjour.
I'm bad at my native language still. All the time. I mess it up all the time. It helps. I like living with an English nerd.
You're to proofreading. And get pleasure out of it.
I'd love to see. I was debating with myself a while ago, or 2 years ago now, I think it's been, or 2.5, 3. I did an experiment with whatever his faces is 85 questions. They're really hard to answer questions because they're all like, how do you deal with doubt? What's the nature of consciousness? Like, you know, blah, 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 just like questions like that. And, deep yellow questions, exactly. But I'd be interested in Kate's answers because I know
Just put them on the Discord.
she's a thinker.
Even if you don't do it on regular social media again, you can do it on Discord.
She's a thinker. How about I just do them during the stream?
Yeah, or that.
It's the question of the day.
That'd be cool.
I'll have it up top. It'll make chat more engaging.
Discussion point.
Yeah. I'd love that for you. We watch a lot of like cringy reality shows because we like to make fun of them.
Yes.
And one recently we've watched a lot of is called The Ultimatum. And if you haven't heard of it already, it's literally like it's either the guy or the girl, but one of them is bringing the other one in, basically because one of them doesn't want to get married.
I just don't understand why you won't put a ring on it.
And it's the funnest thing to watch because you can make fun of it the whole time. These people are just, I don't even know. I don't want to be too judgy, but they're something else. So yeah, very simple-minded, put it that way, I guess.
It's just so different from how to be.
Yeah, like I'm not, marriage is cool for people that want to make it cool for them, but like when you turn it into the whole like, we've been dating for 8 years and like,
I just wish you'd pick me.
I just wish like you'd finally pick me. It's like, I have, bitch. Like I've been with you for like 9 years.
We live in the
The fuck you talking about? Like, I know, but I just want to like connect. I just don't feel like you're connecting.
I mean, you're single until you're married, right?
It's like-
I'm single until there's everything else.
It's like, no, stop. You just want to have your wedding. You just want to have your $20,000 party.
My.
That lasts 3 hours and puts you in debt.
I have, bitch.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it like it is. In my mind. Haven't connected with you. My ass.
Yeah.
You don't love me enough to stay with me out of intellectual concept, then get out of here.
For real.
A $5,000 rock ain't gonna change your mind.
Not in a piece of paper that some
Yeah.
random person signs.
No. You can go on about the psychology of it all day and how it's this and that and a commitment and it's harder to leave, but that's the actual problem with it.
Yeah, should be a choice.
That's the problem. That's not the benefit of it. Marriage is good though because then you're locked in, and it's much harder to leave, and then he becomes a fucking asshole. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, that really explained it.
And even if you're different people in 20 years.
Yeah. Single until married. Oh my god, I can't
hate
stand that sentence. Oh,
Like an interest rate.
oh my
Seriously.
god, they say that all the time. You're so right, Kate. You nailed that. That's a go-to-er right
I
there.
hate that.
Where it's like, oh, no, it's okay to cheat and talk to other guys. You haven't put a ring on it yet, or whatever. It's both ways. I'm a guy, so I tend to talk about girls. Like it's both genders that do it.
Oh yeah, we all
I'm
suck.
not gonna sit here and over gender correct myself. You guys know what I'm fucking saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. It's fun to watch because it's just like, it's the epitome of those types of people. And not that, you know, they belong in the world and they're fine and everything. I'm not saying they should like disappear.
I feel like they're valid.
Everyone's feelings are valid, you know. But
It doesn't align with our values.
yeah, no, it's a very old ritual. That's,
Literally.
and everyone that's already married, that like I get, like there's so many people that are married right now. They're like, yeah, but like I don't think of it like that, and like
You do you.
that's
boo.
fine. You do you. I'm not saying like I'm talking particularly about the people who make it toxic,
Yeah.
make it that specific, or unnecessary, I should say.
Well, that's the stupid thing about shows like The Ultimatum is like they clearly care about each other.
Yeah.
Like you've been living together for however long, and like you're locked into this relationship, and whenever you're not dating other people, it's like, what difference does it make if you have a ring and a piece of paper?
Yeah, that's, you know.
Why is it like, you better give me that ring now or I'm leaving?
Yeah, exactly. I'm talking purely relationship wise. Like you can go on and on about all these things and whatever, you get free health insurance or whatever happens, you know? Save money on taxes, whatever the fuck. But I'm saying like purely the people that think, you know, oh, like we haven't actually been in a committed relationship until you're married. Like, no. Hard stop, disagree. There's either trust in a relationship or there isn't, locked in like an interest rate. Yeah. But 0% APR for the first year. That's a long time. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, I missed that comment with my eyes. My folks have been married for 59 years. On Tuesday, together for 63 years. Well, good for them.
That's exactly what I just typed.
Good for them. But were they not in a relationship for the first 5 before they got married? No, of course they were.
Right, 4, yeah.
Or whatever. Yeah. Like to me, marrying didn't make it any more official.
No, and I get that for some people that's like a value, a moral thing. That's totally fine. Like, some people feel like they need that for whatever reason. And that doesn't mean, like, I'm not the kind of person that will, like, shit on marriage if you're into it.
No, I ain't shitting on it. I'm just shitting on specific parts about it, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to clarify that
Yeah.
point of, like, if that's what, like,
Yeah.
feels right for you.
Because like Stephanie's married, and I'm not obviously not shitting on Stephanie.
No.
Like I know she likes being married. I know they did it for a reason, and
Yeah.
fucking whatever. That's fine. I'm just saying, like, when it becomes toxic, that weird, like, well, whatever. I'm breaking up with you again, even though I've loved you for 9 years because you didn't buy me a rock. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah. That's insane.
that's just insane. Yes, a good relationship. Back in the 60s, it was more required. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. It's,
that's true.
that's another thing. Yeah, it is a boomer thing. Absolutely.
Well, times are just different. Like, people didn't really think about other options, and there were just, like, different
Yeah.
standards.
And everything was much more religious the
Yes.
farther you go back in time too. Let's not forget that, because it in fact is attached to Christianity for the most part. We do have
Or religion.
religion. Yeah, I mean you can go
It's a
to
ritual.
you think about Indians, it's even more intense.
Right, it's a ceremonial ritual.
They invite like everyone in the city to every wedding. It's crazy. There's like 600 people at their
Oh,
wedding.
looks like a great time.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, they're having a
Just
blast.
dance it up.
Corky, I love you, buddy, but at the same time, the cat just jumped on the lap. Give you
Marriage
two.
should not be a tool. Yeah, exactly.
Give you two
And it
cats.
shouldn't
You
be
can get
a,
your buddy, okay?
until you marry
Love
me,
you.
we're single either. It shouldn't be a threat either.
Yeah, marriage shouldn't be a tool. Yeah, absolutely. Or whatever. I know people get offended by generational labels. Like people that were born back then compared to like 2010 and on. It's different.
It is,
Different times. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a gummy, is that cool?
of course. That's the matter. I'm trying not to die. Hey.
I love all these types of conversations. I like all the conversations that people get heated about
Yeah.
because they're the most interesting ones. And I think people should be able to talk about them more. 'Cause it's not that bad.
Nope.
I think just like starting to talk about it is the scary part. And then, you get heavily guarded opinions and ideology. But
all it takes is like having these types of conversations more regularly to make it less so that way. Anyway, in my opinion, like, it takes practice to talk about things that people don't usually talk about, but it feels better. Like I'd rather talk about this than the weather.
Yeah, same. And speaking for myself, like throughout my life, out of all the like flings I've had, for whatever reason, at a very early age, I like didn't like the idea of marriage. Like very early, like well before I was even thinking about even any like relationship, anything, or liking anything, and I lost my point entirely. Boop. It'll come back.
Yeah.
That's what I meant. So basically, right away, anytime I met someone, I would be like the conversation would come up within a few days of like, A, do you want kids? And B, do you want to get married? And is that something that is going to like make or break it for you? And then if they said yes, I'd be like, well, then we should probably just stop now. Like, as much as it hurts sometimes, or it was like annoying, or we felt like wasted time, however you want to call it. I'm just glad that I did that. Because nothing's worse getting 8 years in. I could only imagine. This never happened to me, but I could only imagine that getting 8 years in, and then suddenly she's like thinking about leaving you for another guy just because you're not getting married. But I'm sure there's some ways you could justify that cleverly and spell it out for me, but I just feel like that's kind of meh. Not to say that happens every day. I don't know how much that happens, but clearly there's a show called The Ultimatum, and 7 to 8 couples come on that are...
And it's one of the most watched shows on Netflix.
Yeah, and...
Let's not forget that.
And Kirsten made a good point about that, too. Like, last time we were talking about it, was that there's probably just as many people, if not more people than us watching it, being like, oh my god, isn't that so cute? Like, like you should marry me, too. Like...
Oh my god, we should go on this show. Are you not gonna get... When are you gonna give me a ring?
Yeah.
Do I need to apply for this, babe? Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's what we get.
Same. The relationship was not solid if the person leaves that easily. Yeah, I mean, that's what I think.
Yeah. When we've watched that show too, it's like I can't imagine. We've had this conversation so many times. Like I can't imagine a version of me that would ever even think about applying for something like that. Like what are you thinking?
Oh my god! Because the other thing too, the thing that happens on that show is they swap couples.
Yeah.
So they go on there and they all like meet or whatever, and then they all decide, like they all pick like who they want to go with on this, like they go on like a trial honeymoon thing where they go in like a hotel for 2 weeks and drink margaritas. And then they come back and like they either like pick the other person, or they're like, oh my god, like I just couldn't wait to get back to you, and like.
Well, and the stipulation with it too is not even that they go back to their person or not. It's you either leave engaged or like single.
Yeah.
You either break up or get engaged.
Right.
That's so extreme.
It's fun.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure even married people could watch it and cringe because it's, like, ridiculous.
Okay.
There's such 2020 couples, like, people, too. Like, I don't know how else to say that. Like I feel like... I feel like millennials have been way outdone at this point with, like, the new 20-year-olds and with, like, social media and whatever. Because, like, we all, we started with like primitive social media.
True.
We had like MySpace, and you had to know a little bit of HTML to even use it, and like the stuff they have now, it's like you're born right into like Tinder and fucking phones that are faster than like laptops. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Hey, we reached our 100 messages today. Let's go. Thanks for like having fun talking and engaging. I appreciate y'all. The key clubs of the 80s. I'm not sure what that means. You should get married if you want to you should get married if you want to, not because you feel like that's the next step or else. Yeah, I mean, that's what we're saying. That's what these people are like. It's like, it's the next step or else. MySpace, wow, yeah. That's the old days right there. Back when I was a kid. That's solid point, Steph. A great way to put that. Neither of my boys are getting married. Key clubs or swingers. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, hell, swingers probably been around for 2,000 years. So.
Way longer.
Yeah.
As long as there've been relationships.
Been swinging since the cavemen, man. Since the Homo erectuses. Pun intended. Pun intended on that one, even though it was dorky. I think we've existed way longer than we think, though. But I'm not gonna open that can of worms right now. I'm laughing out loud. Erectuses. Erectuses. Is that what it is? Homo erectuses? Did I say it wrong? Gotcha. I just remember seeing that one day in like 5th grade and laughing. Homo erectus. Dicks. I'm gonna go draw a dick on my notebook now. And, you know, fucking preteens and their dick drawings on their notebooks. It's a thing. Stick figure comics, man. Those are the days. I used to sell stick figure comics in school. I feel like I've told you guys this already. I got in trouble for it. Because you're not supposed to sell things in school. Unless it's the candy bar drive. And then you can. Y'all remember the candy bar drive?
Still a feature.
Is it? You guys still do that?
Not at my school, but I know that older kids do. Middle schoolers do.
I gotcha. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the ground of Arizona, but there's literally just like endless tiny rocks where it looks like if you ran out and weren't paying attention, you'd immediately sprain your ankle. Like 6-7 inch rocks just laying around everywhere. Little boulders. Like the place just looks like a volcano fucking exploded one day and then like it was never cleaned up. Like that's what Arizona looks like. I guess it makes sense because that meteor hit over there. That giant crater. It makes sense that there's a lot of black spread out rocks and debris and black rocks everywhere. Even though I know that's more a volcanic thing because it used to be under the ocean or whatever. Oh yeah, preteen dick drawings, yeah, exactly. I got in trouble for selling a hamster for $5.
That's what made me laugh.
Oh man.
That's a deal for a hamster. Come on.
It is. Used to make me cringe the shit they'd get mad at in school for no reason. I remember they tried skateboarding in gym. I remember it was like the most glorious thing a school has ever tried to me. And they got like skateboards and everything that you go put back in like the gym equipment door, everything. Like we actually had a skateboarding thing happening in gym. And then one fucking kid got hurt and they stopped it. Like to me that's so stupid. It's so stupid. And it wasn't a requirement either. You even had to have your parents sign off on a paper that allowed you to take part in the skateboarding and gym. So there was multiple hoops you had to jump through to skateboard, and you had to let the parents know. And still, they took it away in like 3 weeks. I remember being so fucking mad. Me and Ed were so excited. Me and my best friend. So dumb. Probably because someone's little angel baby got hurt. It's like, oh my god. Took drawings on the dictionaries back when we didn't have computers for every kid. Dictionaries. I did. A kid turned me in. Wow, what a dick. What a dictionary. Yup, lots of snowflakes. Yeah, my god. Like, you have to get injured a little bit, like, to learn. There's no such thing as going through life perfectly protected and unchallenged. Like, oh my god. Like, I was trying to explain this to Kirsten the other day too, because like we talk a lot about school policy, because like she comes home and like complains about a lot of bullshit, that rightly so, and it's like in my opinion, and you know, I'm not a professional, and I'm not like I'm not in a trained degree area to say this, where I have training with kids in psychology and how people develop and whatever, and you know, I don't have all the data in front of me, but however, I think it takes only common sense in living life to realize that there's a Goldilocks zone for policies that have to deal with like safety or like how much you protect something, because I don't know, like you can't have too unprotected, right? Because then everyone's dying, everyone's getting hurt. It's just mayhem. But you can't have too protected. Bad, equally bad things come from that. Being too pampered. Like, I don't know. It's just it's a very fine line. It's a very fine line.
It's ready. I was just.
Thank you again. I appreciate it. Oh, the dumb policies. Yeah. Oh, see, look, Streamlabs automatically tells people that I have a website already, because I'm cool like that, and I set up that robot. Darwin. Yeah. We protect ourselves from ourselves, which makes an endless loop of idiocy. Yeah, and I feel like there's a healthy amount of letting people make their own mistakes. You know, it's not protecting children. It's not you know, doing things that ended up working that were good for society. It's allowing people to make mistakes so that they can learn. Like, there needs to be a little bit of healthy fear in the world. You know, you need to be scared of fire so it doesn't burn you. Like, and I make it as simple as an analogy as possible, because you know, you get canceled these days if you get too specific. But it's like, goddamn. Like, I'll refrain from saying a couple opinions on here because I'm live and I'm public and whatever, but like, I just think there's a sweet spot for that stuff. A sweet spot for discipline, a sweet spot for rules within establishments. And I think in some specific microcosms we've gone a little too far. Like cancel culture was never a thing. Like the way it is now, where it's like hypercharged. Like you can be erased off the planet for just saying something that like you didn't realize. It's like, it's so ridiculous. But it's like, you know, but at the same time you need to have protections for that stuff, and like, I get it. Like, I'm agreeing, but I'm like I said, I don't know, I made my point. There's a Goldilocks zone, just like Earth, it needs to be just the right distance from the sun for life to happen. And in the same way, you gotta be just the right distance from fear and making your mistakes and having to move through challenges in order to grow as a person and have some character, in my opinion, and have an accurate way of navigating the world. Because if the world to you is, there should be no challenge and pain, and I should be pampered at every corner, and anytime something goes wrong I should be compensated for it, then literally like you'll live a life of fear, like even more fear and pain. Because like without dealing with fear from a young age, or pain or challenge, you won't know how to deal with it when you actually have to.
Which is inevitable.
Yeah, which is inevitable. You can only be pampered for so long. Like, life is amazing at bringing you challenges. No matter how fucking well you think you can protect yourself from them, life is amazing at it. It'll bring you at least one a day. You'll have a challenge once a day. And you may have a nice like rest time. You might go 6, 7, 8 months, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. No, not many challenges. You know, you stub your toe, you know, whatever. You get sick, but you know, every once in a while, that big one comes. And if you haven't dealt with anything, it's like, I don't know how some of these kids are gonna do it. Yes, healthy fear. Yes, you learn from it all. I agree, Joe. Cancel culture is so Orwellian. Commercial break. Oh shit. What up? Welcome back from the commercial. Sorry. If you subscribe, you can avoid those entirely. I know it's $5 a month that you may not have, but just so you know. You can't avoid those. Yes, Darwin is my man. Oh wait, I missed some. Let me go. If I have to tell you how to use shampoo, we don't need you. It's getting detail-y up here. Foreground time, huh? So I'm gonna get some extra black for these rocks, because like these rocks you see out in Arizona, they're really black. Like they look like they were just charred by a blowtorch, literally. But yeah, man, gotta have some challenge. Feels good when you beat a challenge too. It's like a good self-reward system that you can like adopt in your own psyche, and it really benefits you in the long run, I think. Like I got that at an early age for just, who knows, I'll just call it lucky, whoever, I was thinking of the right things at the right time, but was around the right people, whatever caused it. But like I very early on got into the pain of working at something and getting good at it. Like the pain of repeating the same guitar riff 89 times. I used to literally make myself do the same guitar riff 100 times, and I would not stop until I hit 100. Literally count it. And like those things are such good practices to develop, man. Like I can't tell you how many times like someone came to me like, I don't know how you do it, you do it. It's like, well, I suffered through hours and hours of challenge to do what I do. Like I've made my fingers bleed and rip off the tips of them hundreds of times. I've accidentally missed and string went underneath my fingernail and cut it, and like I can't tell you how much pain I had to go through. Like pulled out my forearm for 2 months because I couldn't play, like because I overdid it. Like in one way I'm extreme. I get it like almost like I can go too hard, but there's people that like lack that entirely. And I'm not saying that like I'm the best and like I'm the archetype of a good human. I just mean like
you're freakishly dedicated.
But it is I'm freakishly dedicated, yes, and like through being freakishly dedicated, whatever may have created it through my life situations, I'm grateful for that and my ability to push myself through things. Like to want to almost give up and just be like no, and keep going. Like that's something we're not instilling in kids with the over pampering right now. Because now what they do is they can just scream and hide under a table, and because there's so much protections in place, you can't even grab them by the wrist and set them in their chair anymore.
Nope.
You have to call their parents and write a note and fucking, you know, it's. I'm not saying you should be able to hit kids. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying there needs to be some sort of thing. Like it doesn't need to be like in the old days in church where you get whacked by the ruler. That's too much. It needs to be like, you know, like not even physical. Just there needs to be something. Like not less protections, but maybe like more challenges or promoting challenge, or I don't know, maybe there's a new curriculum they can think of, yeah, like where they like guide kids through productive struggle, where it's not all given to them, or
productive struggle or something like that.
Like I think maybe I saw it when I saw my mom drawing really good at a very early age, like 3-4 years old, and I'd be like, how do you do that, you know? And she'd be like, oh, there you go, like here's a notebook and a paper, and like immediately fail horribly. Like, wow, okay. No, like how do you do that, you know? And then it just goes from there. Like I go to Barnes. I used to love Barnes and Noble. I used to be addicted to finding art books and how to draw. Like I looked at so many how to draw books at Barnes and Noble for hours. Like, that used to be my thing. Because in those days I didn't have like Google, or I couldn't just go on YouTube and look up the latest, most viral, you know, art streamer and learn from them. It was like, you know, how to draw humans by Loomis. Like, you know. They're a burnt or a rock type, Onyx, City, and Jet, yeah. Practicing repetition is how you get good, yeah. And also, just as importantly, an immense interest in what you're practicing. Because if that's not there, then that's the talent. That's where the talent comes from. It's your immense interest in something. Your inability to put it down is what makes you talented at something. You don't have babies coming out the womb playing guitar. Like brains might be wired to be a little bit more visual or a little bit more reactive or a little bit more better with words or math or whatever, left brain, right brain. But at the end of the day, it's about how much you're gonna apply yourself and how interested are you in what you're applying yourself at. Because like the interest is gonna take you all the way. I can tell you right now. Because you know we can force ourselves to apply ourselves to anything. You know, you can go get some shit job cleaning sewers and you can get good at it, but it doesn't mean you're interested in that. But when you combine those two, it becomes tenfold powerful, 100-fold powerful. Unlimited amounts of power that can come from that combination. So figure out how to combine what you're interested in with challenging yourself. And the rest will come, because you won't have, like, you'll wait, if you find the right thing. I mean, I know not everyone's like creative, but like if you find the right thing, you'll lose sleep over it, not like being able to like wait to get to the next idea. Like it happens to me all the time. I sometimes I'm up at night because I'm thinking about my painting. I can't, you know, I can't wait to get back to it. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had the thought, I wish I didn't have to sleep. Like I wish humans didn't have to sleep, because I hate that I have to go down for 8 hours and like miss out on that time to like get better at it. And it's like every time I waste a day, I'm like, shit, now I gotta sleep for 8 hours. I can't, you know what I mean? Like I have crazy thoughts like that because I'm so into it. Like obviously sleep's a beautiful thing. I love my sleep, but I'm just saying like sometimes I wish there was 72 hours in the day and the sleep cycle was, you know, sleep for 24 hours, stay up for 48. Just feel like there's not enough time in the day.
Gornaw the ghastly.
Gornaw, like G-N-A-W. That's a good one. Yeah, the game's funny with the Mad Lib elite names. Or what they call them, lieutenants. Interest, curiosity, willing to struggle. I write a minimum of 3K words a day. Nice. There you go. LOL. I love sleep, but we age. What do you mean exactly? I love sleep, but we age. I feel like I can take a few meanings from that. What did you mean? I feel like that's a personal statement. Come on. Too much water on this brush, man.
Side note,
Yeah, you nailed it this time. I'm jealous. Yeah, no, I'll be getting off pretty quick here, guys, in a minute. I'm dinner time, but just having fun talking and painting, so that's why I'm still here. Bill Thigh, the science guy.
Bill Thigh, the science guy.
Pretty sure they tried to cancel him too for something. I forget what it was. It was a while ago now. Time goes by, we go to sleep and can't get it back. Yeah, I can't get back anytime. I mean, that's what I said. When I say time's precious. Thanks for spending it with me, because we all have a set finite amount for this iteration of our whatever. If we were, you know, supposing that we come back. But that's just the reincarnation path of thought. Because we don't know, we have to assume this is the only chance we have to be the type of person we are, with this type of identity, with this name, with this body, this mind. That's something that lights a fire under my ass. Like, oh shit, like I really love enjoying being an artist. If reincarnation's real, I don't know if I'll be an artist next time. I need to enjoy the crap out of being one as much as I can this time. I'll only be joking once. What's for dinner? It's a Mexican quinoa that Kirsten makes. It's delicious. It's quinoa and like Mexican taco flavoring in it, and we do like the salsa and the sour cream with like the dip. It's more like a dip. These atoms are doing this once. Yes, I like that way of thinking of it. That's another good way to say it. Yep, these atoms are only in this combination once, just like the snowflake. Who knows, you know? If reincarnation, let's just like say reincarnation is real for fun, you know, like could be 10,000 more Jokums there, you know, or whatever I'm named. And I won't ever be an artist again, who knows? It's my turn to be an artist. That's how deep it feels, like, to be honest with you, like, so that's like the struggle I go up against that I can't explain. And whether that's just training it into myself as a kid, because we make who we are as a kid with our experiences, but like I've just dedicated myself to the love of it. And as I've gotten older and I've matured into a human being, and that's become more ingrained into who I am, and it feels that way now. It's a feeling. One could even call it a destiny through the way it feels. Not literally.
Blue Eyes, the Forsaken.
Destiny is a whole nother back and forth. I get into that one with my mom all the time. She loves going on about the destiny. She believes the whole like you're a soul and then you pick and design your whole life before it happens. I have a much shorter term view of it, where you're picking and choosing your destiny constantly at every waking second now of the day. Where you in fact do set your destiny by making a choice. And that destiny could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be an hour, it could be 5 years, right? That sounds yummy. It is yummy. What the bleep do we know? It's a book and a movie. Must read, must see. Gotcha. Sounds like a good one. Talks about atoms. Hell yeah. Yeah, that's a mysterious world, man.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, back on my point of short-term destiny. Just to close it with a couple examples. Like, you could choose to slap someone in the face, right? In public. That's probably gonna get them mad at you. And you're gonna have to deal with them for the next 5-10 minutes. Either you get in a fight, you know, blah, blah, blah. You set your destiny for those next 5 minutes. That choice created a cascade of butterfly effect. But, you know, one could think butterfly effect, it goes on forever. I think some could, but I think all different butterfly effects can, like, go certain amounts of time and fizzle out here and there. Some can fizzle out, some can have long-lasting effects. And so another one, you know, you can go murder someone, right? That's gonna set your destiny for life almost. That you're in jail. That's a very long-term destiny. You can set your destiny for 5 years, 10 years. You know, there's choices you can make that will change your life in the immediate forefront of your experience. And that's how I view it. I don't think it's like you picked every single moment that was going to happen to you before you were born. I think that's a bit far-fetched, and I think it's just fun to think about, and I think that's why a lot of people buy into that. I don't think it plugs in as well to the human experience as the one I like to think of. So yes, destiny is real, but not in that way, in my opinion. And another reason is because you have to believe in the first version of destiny in order for it to be real. The second version of destiny that I preach is one that you can actively test and prove to yourself every day through just trying it. Threads in a spider web. You get back to the original web eventually. My thoughts. I like it. We all come from a stew of stardust because we're all made out of carbon. And then when the carbon forms into a brain, that's when we take it the rest of the way. And just because of the nature of sink to basin, the way energy, or you know, another way to say it, entropy, which it just means you have energy and it disperses out until it spreads out and into everything. And because of that, you can't put smoke back into a cigarette. So in fact, the way when I look at it through that lens, it's a fact to me that choices in fact cause destiny. Whether it's 2 minutes, 1 minute, an hour, 5 minutes. And this is the Buddhist view of karma, or a more advanced view of karma too, where you can read in certain spiritual books to touch on this, where I think a more earthly and less far-fetched view of karma is not like, oh, you did something bad, so something's gonna bad happen to you. What it is you make a choice, and now you have to enact out that choice, and that's what karma is. Sci-fi idea of mine. Is the womb a gateway into this realm? A sci-fi idea of mine is the womb is a gateway into this realm. I assume that's one sentence.
What was that? Remember that movie we saw? One of my weird picks.
Mother?
No.
Meander?
Yes, was it? At the end?
Yeah, because there was that whole birth into a new world thing.
Mm-hmm. Meander had that.
Yeah.
I was picturing the ending. I forgot that was even the same movie. That movie looked weird.
It just had a wicked,
It went really left.
super existential ending.
It did. Space Odyssey 2009. Yeah.
One
Have you
sentence
seen
figured.
the movie?
Oh,
Space Odyssey 2009?
what happens in it?
I can't.
Well, there's tons of movies I need to be reminded of that I've seen.
Excuse me. Actively sneezing to death. It's worth watching.
Okay. Watch it.
It's an old movie, like 60s. You would know if you'd seen it. It's just like pretty out there.
Okay.
Ahead of its time, I would say though. I don't really know how to explain it.
What is it? Some sort of like interstellar shit? It's fourth dimensional fucking life explaining shit?
No. It's just got a lot of like big thematic things.
Big dramatic or thematic?
Thematic. Like themes.
Oh, okay. Well, you obviously don't want to spoil it. I'll wait.
I don't really know how to explain it. Like, I just don't know how to explain
It is HAL who kills humans. HAL is code for IBM. Starts with the monkey's bones and a space slab. No. Exploration ship seeking the meaning to the universe. Okay.
it. Yeah.
That was built by humans?
I need to rewatch it. It's been years.
HAL is code for IBM. I don't understand that sentence. IBM
HAL.
is in the computer company?
IBM. It's how it's a part of the movie.
Oh. HAL is code for IBM. As in they use HAL as an analogy for the computer company IBM in the movie. Yes, okay. So you're saying like when I watch it and I hear HAL or HAL, that's kind of what they're referencing. Gotcha.
What is IBM? But no.
A while. They're one of the older ones. Yes. Each letter is one ahead. Each letter is one ahead.
Oh, I see what you mean. HAL. I comes after H. B comes after A.
Oh, like that's what they did? Like that's what the artists who made the movie did? Like you did some reading in on like the production and found out that they did that?
Huh.
Yes, the writers, yes. Gotcha. Cool.
Huh. I did not know that. I haven't seen that movie in years.
It sounds familiar, but
It's a classic. Like, it's been around since, I think it was in like late 60s. It's a Stanley Kubrick movie.
Is he an author?
Hmm?
Is he a director or an author? Or...
Yeah.
So bad with names, man.
There it is. Okay. We can watch it later.
Like that shot looks familiar in the white tunnel.
Oh, 1970, I was off. Supercomputer HAL 9000 guides astronauts on a trip to find the origins of humans. It's on Prime.
Cool. Watch it soon.
It was a click. That's kind of a long one.
Beans.
Well, not too.
I'm painting Beans. Hi, Beans. What are you doing? Yeah. Say hi to stream. Say hi.
Beans!
Say hi to stream, Beans.
Now she doesn't want to talk.
She's meowing, but it's like... Aww. She's so cute. This little kitty. It was Clark book. I'm author illiterate. Means I'm painting. What are you doing? You're so random. It's one thing if you have cats, if you know what I mean. They're so random about when they want affection. They just appear on your lap. Boop. Start purring. Red beans. She's gonna try to go on the desk here if I ignore her. It's her thing. I'm a bibliophile. Cat equals alien. Yes, they're highly evolved. You sweet little baby. Yeah. What are you doing? You have a squeak for stream? She's doing like her silent whisper meows. I gotta give her some pets. It's hard to resist. Yeah, cats are basically aliens, yeah. So weird. They are so weird. And I feel so privileged to get to be their friends. Yes. They choose you, indeed.
She said she heard the whisper. Good.
Did you? Oh, good.
It's one of the most precious things.
Yeah.
That Marcy whisper.
Yeah, she uses like these funny, like, breathy whisper meows. Isn't that right, Marcy? Aw. She's all snuggly right now. You always want to be snuggly while I'm painting, though. I want to get all that paint in your pretty white fur. It's like a blank canvas. Give Marcy like red highlights for a few weeks. Okay, Marcy, I gotta keep painting. Probably just heard her sneeze. She's being all cute and flippy, like booping her head. Need to get myself some gray. I'm gonna fix this little minecart track stand here, and then I'm probably gonna call it there to go eat some yum yums, because Kirsten's making me jealous. Eating that yummy food in front of me. I appreciate y'all tuning in. It's been fun talking. Not leaving yet, like I said, finishing this little poll. Marcy is super shy, but she loves Jogum so much. Just to You are a shy little baby. You doing, Bean? Actually, this panel should have been the gray one. I made a mistake. Redarken it. I'm gonna have to do some work on this backhoe arm to bring it out a little bit more too, just so it pops a little bit better. Like that is a backhoe arm. That's the difficult part about stacking little details like this on top of each other, next to each other. Is it's very easy to get them very confusing. Hard to separate them. Same, I enjoy the deep conversation. Me too. I like talking about the real things. Learning shading too, hell yeah. Deep and educational. A little dark here.
Deep yellow education.
Deep yellow education.
Cheese education.
Yeah, macaroni and cheese education. That was a bit dark. Because the train tracks can't be floating, they gotta be on some sort of support beam. That makes the most excellent stream. Burnt umber education. Yeah. Yep. Raw sienna learning. I wouldn't call burnt sienna a Crayola color though. That's like a legit fine art color. That's like an actual paint name.
Cadmium yellow academics.
Yeah. Now, if it was a Crayola color, burnt sienna would be like Arizona desert. Desert sand. Desert sand learning. Thanks for the snuggle, Marcy. See you around. Thanks for all your white hair all over my black sweatpants. Appreciate it. Yep, you gotta make sure you're covered in fur at all times. We always make fun of her with that because it's like we swear she always, like, right when you're leaving for something, like you're dressed up, she wants to come like get some pets real quick, say goodbye. It's like she does it on purpose just to make sure she gets fur all over your clothes. Because like by chance me and Kirsten both love wearing black only all the time, so.
And she's a floofy white.
Yeah, she's a floofy white kitty baby. Yeah. Alright, on that poll correction, I'm gonna end the stream there. It's been a blast. I'm so glad I decided to, even though it was a bit late, sorry. Not that they have to be in the morning, wherever. But, yeah. Oh, that's why it reminds me, Kate. Are you still there? I want to show you the blue glowing crystals. Ready? Check this out. So, I don't know if they'll show up. I might have to turn the lights off. Okay, you can see this a tad, but hold on, let me show you. Alright. Ready? Ain't that awesome? They're blue! Because I use blue paint. That's so good. I don't need to buy specifically blue glow. It's the camera's having trouble focusing right now. Because there's no light. That's why it's doing that. But here, I'll try to get all three. So I got those gems over here. These gems over here. And then the sun. Oh yeah, it lasts a while. Cool, right? And the thing is too, like, the camera's being a little fuzzy because it's dark. You're not seeing it as nearly as good as it looks in person. I promise you, it looks so much cooler in person. And on top of that, we're still in a pretty bright room. When you bring this into like the bathroom and shut the lights off, where it's pitch black, like these things are popping, man.
Yeah.
But oh yeah, so Kirsten just turned the TV off. That's gonna make it one pitch. That actually didn't make that much of a difference. He tried. But anyway, you get the point. These came out the best here on the mine carts. See that? So cool. Anyway, let me turn these back on quick.
Oh, that was neat to like watch the painting as like the different levels of light came back. Just watching it on the screen, you can see it glowing.
Yeah.
Another cool part. That was cool.
But anyway, yeah, no problem. You gotta see that. It's too cool to miss out. But I mean, I mean, my brain's been exploding over the way, with different ways I can utilize that. Like the other thing I was explaining to Kirsten too, like even if you don't do specifically a glow-in-the-dark painting purposely just for that, you could probably use it to just make colors seem more vibrant, low-key. Cause like think about it, like all these lights are on, right? This sun right here, literally glowing right now, even though the lights are on. And our brain picks up on more visual information than we register consciously all the time. And so like I think just through using that in certain colors in certain places I can make it have like that oil painting effect where the light is permeating through the paint. That's why people do gesso and prime the canvas in oil, because they're literally putting a clear layer underneath and within the paint. That light is going into the paint and it's acting like you know how fiber optic cables work, how light flies through a piece of plastic. Same kind of concept, but in like kind of permeating throughout inside the paint. And I think this is a similar way to do it with gouache. And it's exciting. Like I wouldn't want it to be yelling at you. Like it's just the fact that the sun just feels a little bit, just that little bit like hair more bright. You know what I mean? And you can kind of see like the second I take this this black light away, it just is a little bit more glowy. It's just a little bit more like potent. You know what I mean? And so like now imagine if I knew this before doing this painting and I did all that. I did that for the orange highlights on this rock. I did it for all the lava, the crystals, any light source. Even the brighter parts of some of the sky and the cloud highlights. I just feel like the brain would pick up on that subtly, you know? But anyway, it's all experiencing I gotta do. The perspective is wrong on the back wall of that house up there, but we're gonna fix that next time. I love you all. Thank you so much for the support. It's been great talking. And I hope life allows us to all keep doing art, as me as well. Days to come. I will maybe see you tomorrow. Not sure what's happening for me tomorrow. I have a band rehearsal tomorrow. That's what's happening. But other than that, maybe I'll get on when I get back from that. But loves both of you and the kitty. Alright, I'll tell Marcy. Marcy, Kate says she loves you. Imagine if she was just like beep. That's what's funny about Marcy is she talks back to you.
She does.
Like instantly. It's really cute. You can go up to her and be like, "Oh, how's your day?" And she'll be like, "Meow." And you're like, "Oh, really?" And she's like, "Yeah." Oh, yeah. All these different multi-syllabic meows. But anyway, remember, check out the website. Planet Jogum. I know not much new has gone up yet, so like I know that like all you people that are normally watching, the true fans, like you're probably not interested in much right now. But anyone new watching, I do have a website. It's planetjokum.com. It has a lot to pick from, so definitely more to see than just the first glance you see as I'm just scrolling through the first page. It goes through watercolor, gouache originals. There's a lot sold out, but there's a lot left. There's also stickers, sketches out of my sketchbooks, and I'm adding more of those soon. They're kind of annoying to do the work to get them onto the website, but working on that. And then we got stickers, of course. I mean, can never have enough health potions and mana potions, let me tell you. You're always running out of health and mana, so definitely pick some of those up.
Big facts.
Big facts. But yeah, there's that. No discount code today because my website was being weird and I just wanted to get on stream quick. But always remember, if you subscribe to my Twitch, tier 1, 2, and 3, tier 1, 5%, tier 2, 10%, tier 3, 15% off. And next time we'll have a daily discount. But see you around. Thanks for joining. Have a good night. See you next time.